Question: does gear matter? It depends. Obviously. Before we start the video, I'd like to thank the sponsor that you all know and love, Owned.tv. Owned is your one-stop shop for all your stream aesthetic needs, whether it be overlays, panels, transitions, alerts, whatever you need. Plus, my favorite feature about them is that they are modular. So for example, if you and all your friends want to pick up this Alpha Gaming overlay, which is not a coincidence, we actually helped make that with the crew, none of you will have the exact same overlay because you can all pick and choose the different pieces that you like. So if you'd like to make the smart move like thousands from the community have done, feel free to use the link in the description below to pick up your own designs, which by the way, that link does help support the channel. So if you use it, thank you. Also make sure you use code ALPHA at checkout for 40% off. Back to the video. The debate about whether or not gear matters has been going on for centuries. Some still say that to this day we have not found a real answer. Many still scour the ancient texts of Twitter, searching for clues. But for real, this debate pops up here and there. It popped up again this week on Twitter when someone posted a little bit of a mocking tweet aimed at content creators like myself, who use high-end gear and then go on to say that gear doesn't matter. And the tweet just so happened to be from someone who follows me and also went up the exact same day as I posted a video with this.
Your setup doesn't matter.
I respect that answer. Tell me more. Bro, you can at me. It's fine. I'm not gonna argue with you on Twitter. What's unfortunate is that a lot of people like to align with blanket statements like that. The entire argument on Twitter kind of devolved into the black and white, yes, gear does matter, or no, gear doesn't matter, when really the answer is obviously much more nuanced than that. Like, you can't just take that small clip that I just shared and ignore the statements that came after it. It's harder to make a good YouTube channel with crappy gear. You can still do it with your phone, but like the bar is just so high on YouTube, and you can't ignore the context of the entire video and who it was aimed at, which in this one was particularly small creators, small streamers who wanted to become big streamers. That's a super important point. So today, I would like to put this argument to rest. I want you to know by the end of this video if buying gear should matter to you, and if not, why do I bother doing gear reviews then? To sum up this entire video, if you have ADHD and don't want to watch this whole thing, sum it up in a single sentence. If you are a small creator, which are the majority of people who watch my videos, gear is one of the worst things you can invest your money in, and I stand by that. I stand by it so hard. 99% of streamers are either making nothing or next to nothing on Twitch. And I'm serious, by the way. I verified this. I scrolled down the Fortnite section, found someone with 9 viewers and looked up their stats. They had apparently an average of 18 viewers, and that put them in the top 1% of Twitch streamers. 99% of Twitch streamers have fewer than 15 viewers and likely, very likely, don't make the Twitch payout threshold every single month. And I promise you, the thing holding you back from breaking that 15 viewer ceiling and actually making money on Twitch is not your gear. And I'm proof of that, by the way. When I first started streaming on Twitch, I'd been a full-time YouTuber and musician for like 3 years, and I already had a ton of gear. I started streaming with this, I think it's like a $5,000 camera setup, a full-frame DSLR, as well as a $2,000 studio mic, and I streamed for less than 10 people for years. Check it out, here are my stats. This month, like 3 years ago, I streamed for 80 hours for 8 people. But since then, and since my channel has grown quite a bit, I have changed things, I've upgraded things, I've bought gear. I obviously believe that gear has its place. So when do you spend money on gear? How do you know it's the right time? This is super important. Sam, get ready to draw some graphs. The amount you spend on your gear and the amount of viewers you have are not directly proportional. Meaning, it's not like for every $20 you spend on gear, you get 1 more viewer on Twitch. Doesn't work that way. Gear is more of a matter of thresholds, meaning a minimum threshold, which is basically just what's required, and then an upper threshold, which is your ceiling. There is a minimum threshold of gear that is usually necessary for people to give you a chance. And this minimum threshold changes depending on what platform you're making content on and what kind of content you're making. So in this sake, to make it easy, let's say you're streaming on Twitch and you're making gaming content. People generally consume this kind of content for 2 different reasons, and we're obviously simplifying this so this video isn't an hour long, but people want to watch gameplay of their favorite game, and people want to engage and interact with their favorite streamer. Typically that means you need a microphone that sounds a little bit better than an airplane intercom, someone telling you where the exits are, if you remember what that sounds like at this point in 2021. And you need a semi-decent camera. Any phone built in the last 5 years has a camera much higher than that minimum threshold. That is your lower threshold, or your bare minimum requirement to start growing. As you pick up more gear, your ceiling increases, meaning as you reach more people, as your audience grows, people have different standards of what they want to watch and what they consider entertaining. And you now have a potential appeal to a larger audience. It's like buying a larger fish tank. You don't suddenly have more fish because you bought a larger tank, but you can eventually fit more fish in there. You just gotta go out and find them first. Which is why you should upgrade your gear as your channel grows. If you have 10 viewers, but your upper ceiling is 200 viewers, which by the way, is a perfectly reasonable upper ceiling for someone with just an entry-level stream setup. Spending your money on gear will be the same thing as burning it. This is why you see a lot of 10 viewer streamers with thousands of dollars worth of gear. Gear is important, but it will not help you grow. So why do I do gear reviews at all and then in the same sentence say that gear doesn't matter? Because most of you are grown adults with jobs, and most of you are going to buy some occasional gear anyway. And buying gear is fun for your hobbies. There's nothing wrong with that. So if I do a video on why this $400 lens is gonna work better for your stream setup than this $2,000 lens, I didn't just encourage you to spend $400. As far as I'm concerned, I saved you or helped you save $1,600. You're a grown up. You can spend your money on whatever you want. I'm not your mom. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you what's good and bad so you can spend your money properly. However, I'm well aware that when I recommend a product, thousands of small streamers will go out and buy it, and not a single one of them will actually see an increase in viewers due to buying that product. I don't believe it is my responsibility as a YouTuber on this tiny screen on your phone or on your computer to tell you how to spend your money, because it isn't. However, I am well aware that I do have an influence over what you guys do spend your money on, and that is a lot of responsibility. I can't go on camera and say, you should buy this lens for $400 and feel good with my integrity at the end of the day if I leave it at that. I have to walk the fine line of giving unbiased reviews for the people who do have money, while also being the voice of reason to the small streamers who don't have a lot of money, and remind them that this gear that they might want to buy won't help turn their dreams into a reality. Only hard work and creativity will do that. And by the way, just to prove that, I shot and recorded this entire thing on my phone. Happy streaming, guys.
I am healing.
Hey, wait! Stop! No, don't shoot! Stop it! What?
Harris, you just ran me over.
No, I didn't.
Harris? Can you get me up?